Welcome back to News 9. This week we are talking to Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley about a crime that can put law enforcement in a dangerous position.
Here's Lisa Monahan for this week's Chat with the Chief.
Every week we sit down with Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley, and this week we're talking about car burglaries, how often firearms are taken from those vehicles. You're seeing it quite a bit here in 2022. 655 guns were stolen from automobiles. 406 of those were from unlocked cars. And of course, we know that that can pose a threat to first responders. You know, it was just last week, police telling us that Hunter Berry stole a gun out of a vehicle, and during that pursuit, he used it to shoot at police while speeding down the road. That's just one of many instances that have happened in 2022 and now into 2023. What do you attribute to this increase?
I think the biggest thing is more people are buying firearms today and being armed. The laws in Oklahoma, unless you're a convicted felon, pretty much anyone can buy a handgun. And that's the majority of these that are stolen, is their handguns inside people's vehicles that they keep in there. And then I think there's just not a lot of education that goes with that. You know, the laws allow people to purchase a handgun. They don't have to go through any training or anything like that. And so people just aren't aware that there's proper ways to store a gun, a firearm. There's proper ways, you know, not only to carry it, but how to maintain and handle it. And it's just led to a lot of recklessness with these firearms and leaving them in vehicles, and makes them easy targets for criminals.
And really no one is immune. You've even seen a case of this within your department. Absolutely.
Last year we had a firearm stolen out of one of our police vehicles from a locked position inside the vehicle. That firearm was stolen, and that firearm was used to shoot at one of our officers. Unfortunately, the officer was not struck in that incident, but this just shows you how critical it is that you don't leave firearms inside vehicles.
So, Chief, what's the solution for you, for me, for any of our viewers in helping kind of bring these numbers down in 2023?
I think the biggest thing is when people need to understand, if you're going to leave a vehicle a gun in your vehicle, which sometimes may be a requirement. You may be traveling with the firearm and you're coming to a location that doesn't allow you to carry it inside. You should have some piece of equipment inside your vehicle that allows you to lock that up. And that lockbox should be mounted to, securely hidden somewhere in the vehicle so that only you know where that's at. But then also too, it doesn't make it easy for someone to reach in there and get that. Oftentimes these criminals, they're looking inside these vehicles, and you mentioned, I believe it was 406 of those firearms taken from unlocked vehicles. Those firearms are in plain view. And so people are walking by there, these criminals that commit these crimes, they're looking in the vehicle, they see the firearm right there in plain view. It's an easy target. They open the door and they get it.
So gun owners can take those extra steps in being responsible. What are you guys doing to also combat this?
So we have operations that we work to combat the stolen firearms, because you have to understand that these stolen firearms, they don't wind up in the hands of legal gun owners. You know, they wind up in the hands of criminals to commit criminal acts. So we have operations that we conduct to try and catch the burglars in progress, and then also to catch any of the gun dealers or buyers that are trying to skirt the process. They may not be able to legally purchase a handgun, and so we try to target those individuals as well so that we can arrest them and file charges on them. And a lot of times those charges are federal charges, a lot of the firearms charges that we end up getting on folks, because they carry stiffer penalties. And again, we don't want guns out there in the hands of criminals, obviously.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us. Great discussion this morning. You can chime in by sending us an email to chatwiththechief@griffin.news. We'll be taking your questions and answering those next week.